What if I told you that you can actually break Elden Ring by leveling only strength? I'm not talking about just beating the game, I'm talking about deleting boss health bars in seconds. Today we're throwing intelligence and vigor straight into the trash, going full caveman mode, and doing the only thing real men do: bonk. And if any boss has a problem with that, yeah, we'll throw them in the trash too. In this video, you will learn why bonk power is the best power, which strength weapon turns you into a walking earthquake, and how to become the boss of the Elden Ring gym. And the most important thing, I forgot. Too much strength, not enough brain. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive in. And the first thing we need here is to look cool. So we're making a character with the maximum Giga Chad face, the biggest muscles allowed by the game, and a Viking beard. Now the class. Out of all of them, the strongest one for me is obviously the samurai, because those dudes were absolutely built different in their era. And by a totally lucky coincidence, they also have some really good starting stats. Alright, the build is set, the mission's clear, and the world is waiting for a big bonk.
Yeah, boy.
To keep things fun, I'm splitting this run into stages. As you can see on the screen, each stage will have bosses that we need to kill, and in the bottom will be the rewards we will get. But that's not all. In every stage, there's going to be a hidden boss holding the most important artifact of that phase. Yeah, something like this. Okay, you've already seen everything from stage 1, so let's move on and get it. And like any truly strong and cool guy, we need a ride. So we head to Melina, snag the keys to our 1 horsepower torrent, mount up, and ride this route straight to Caelid to grab our greatsword. Follow my path, pick up items along the way, and touch the sites of grace to create points where we can fast travel later on. After arriving at Caelid, ride to the Caelid ruins, find the carriage, inside of it you will find the greatsword.
What the dog doing?
There will be a pack of dogs guarding it, but we KO them with our aura and grab our prize. We open our inventory, check the stats we need, and yep, we're missing strength, and that means we need to bulk. We could train the normal way, killing mobs one by one, but that would take forever. Instead, we're going to do a little bit of legal cheating. We hop on our horse and ride straight towards the 3rd Church of Marika, right here on the map. On the way, we picked up the Golden Foot to get additional runes. Once you reach the church, go behind it, and there's a secret teleporter back there that sends us to another part of Caelid. We're way too cool to fight anything here, so we just head downhill, reach this site of grace, activate it, and then cross the bridge. There's a dragon here, but we skip him entirely and run around like prime Messi skipping defenders. Once we pass the dragon, we turn a little left and ride straight until we reach a ruin filled with sarcophagi. Here, we loot everything. These corpses contain high-level runes that can give us multiple character levels instantly. After collecting all the runes, we jump into the Spirit Spring, land safely, activate the nearest grace, and then wait until night. Because our night dealer shows up, ready to give us a whole lot of runes with 0 effort required. We bait him to the other side of the road, stand on this branch, and just wait for him to fall off. Gravity handles everything, like always. After that, time to level up. Luckily, we don't need to think about the build at all. Just slam every point into strength. Not far from here, there's also a Fort Faroth, the Dectus Medallion for unlock the next region, and Radahn Scar Seal, a talisman that increases multiple base stats, including strength. Okay, now we are finally strong enough to use our greatsword, but something is still missing. Yeah, the weapon is amazing, but we need a proper special attack, an Ash of War, something that scales with our strength and makes this blade hit like a truck.
And the best option for us is exactly Lionclaw. This powerful Ash of War is also located in Caelid inside Fort Gale. So we teleport back to the Grace where we picked up the sword earlier and ride straight toward the fort. There's a site of grace right next to it. Make sure to activate that for safety. Then we climb up onto the balcony, look down into the arena, and there he is, a big, angry lion with blades attached everywhere. The fight isn't the easiest, but it's definitely not the hardest either. I just gave him a couple of solid hits with our greatsword, and took exactly what we came here for. But don't rush to teleport back just yet. There's one more thing here we need. On the left side of the fort gate, there's a super important buff. Flame, grant me strength. This thing will give us extra damage later, so we grab it now while we're already here. Now we have everything we need. Time to go meet Margit,
and introduce his face to our blade. Fast travel back to Stormhill Shack, enter Stormvale Castle, and meet Margit for the first time. Let's see how high our damage output is. See that? Easy. Strength is key. Strength is power. Elden Ring is easy. Alright, enough celebrating, it's time for stage 2. More bosses, more runes, more bonk. Here on the screen you can see who we're taking down, and right below, the loot we're getting from them. So, we crushed Margit and unlocked the path to Godrick. But before we go bully the Lord of Mid-Stats, we need one more upgrade. A strength infusion for our greatsword. While running through Stormvale Castle, stop for a moment at the courtyard with the cannons. Turn left and you'll see a basement entrance. Head down, clear the enemies, and activate the fog wall. Inside the room, loot everything, including the heavy affinity for our Ash of War. Then we sit at the Grace, apply it to our greatsword, and boom, full strength scaling unlocked.
Let's go!
Now it's finally time to face Godrick. Or so we think. We enter his arena, we swing, we hit, and we realize our damage is not enough. He's strong, he is rolling, spinning, screaming, and he deletes us in 2 hits. So what do? The same answer as always, more damage. Since we already unlocked Liurnia, we ride straight there, pick up the maps along the way, and head into this cave, the one right here on the map. Inside, a Crystallian is waiting, and he melts in a few swings. He drops the Smithing Stone Miner's Bell-Bearing 1, which lets us upgrade our weapon up to +6. But that's still not enough. We want absurd damage. So we go back to Limgrave, grab the second half of the Dectus Medallion in Liurnia, pick up the Academy Glintstone key right behind the Sleeping Dragon, and ride straight to the Grand Lift of Dectus. 2 Knights Cavalries, good luck catching us. We take the elevator up and reach Altus Plateau. And again, we skip everything here. We go into the cave ahead, hit the illusory wall, and there we get Bell-Bearing 2, which unlocks even higher weapon upgrades. We activate every rune we saved, farm just a little if needed, and upgrade our greatsword to +12. And the last upgrade we need before we destroy Godrick is our Flask of Wondrous Physick. First, we grab up the Faith Crystal tier in Limgrave over here to get enough faith to let us cast Flame, Grant Me Strength, and buying a seal from the Maiden in Roundtable to use it. That was tier number 1. Tier number 2 is in Liurnia. We get it from the Erd Tree nearby, and it gives us some very needed survivability. The Bubble Crystal tier, which negates 90% of incoming damage from the first hit. We will mix those into the Flask of Wondrous Physick. Both of them are close by, so thank the Outer Gods for that. Now we go back to Godrick and show him who runs the Elden Ring gym. His second phase is the gift for our build, so use it.
Okay, we killed Godrick, which means his Great Rune is now available for us. That thing gives us bonus HP and some extra stats, so of course we're going to activate it. We run to the tower right next to his castle, go all the way up, restore the rune, and boom, more health and a stronger build overall. Next up, our road leads straight to Rennala. Her Guardian Wolf dropped in 2 swings. As for Rennala, she doesn't really stand a chance. A couple of swings and she's already sending her little students to the afterlife. Easy boss, easy loot. But after defeating Rennala, things get interesting. We go straight to Leyndell and face the Draconic Tree Sentinel. And we instantly realize one thing. Our damage is not enough. Like, we bonk him once, twice, 3 times, and he laughs in our face before deleting us from existence with 2 hits. That means it's time for stage 3. More bosses, more rewards, you can see them right here on the screen. So the first thing I realized after getting destroyed by the Draconic Tree Sentinel is that something was clearly missing. I opened my inventory and saw the problem. I still don't have 3 talisman slots.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The first talisman is Kindred of Rot's Exaltation. We grab it in this cave right here. We walk in, absolutely delete the boss in a few hits, wipe everything because our greatsword is still insane, and take our talisman. To activate the buff of the talisman, we need the Fetid Pot to inflict poison. Buy a crafting kit and 3 cracked pots from the merchant Kale. Get the Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 4 in Mistwood. Go to the item crafting menu and craft 3 Fetid Pots. Next, the Ritual Sword Talisman. It's located on the Altus Plateau, and it gives us a sweet plus 20% damage when we're at full HP. And since bosses usually one-shot us anyway, we'll basically always be at full HP until we die. We take down the Demi-Human Queen, grab the Talisman, easy. The third talisman is the Axe Talisman. We grab this one back in Limgrave, in the basement guarded by that angry giant bear. We steal it, we run, and now we finally have all the buffs we need. Okay, talismans done. Now there's one more buff we need to grab. We teleport back to Caelid and head straight to this spot on the map, the swamp area, where a special Knight Cavalry boss appears at night. We sneak up behind him, dodge his rot puke attacks like the absolute chads we are, and boom, Commander Standard acquired. A huge attack buff for our build. So now we've got buffs, we've got talismans, and the only thing left is to add more pure weapon damage, which means time for our next major boss. No, not the Draconic Tree Sentinel. We're going after General Radahn, because once we beat him, we unlock something very, very useful. Radahn isn't the brightest guy in the lands between, and our weapon works beautifully against him. His hitboxes mostly strike downward, and the closer you stay to his horsey feet, the harder it is for him to actually hit you. Meanwhile, Lion's Claw just teleports into his hitbox like it owns the place. We dodge the meteor, and Radahn goes down. And this opens up the way not to Nokron, but to fire Affinity for our weapon. But our greatsword has reached a point where it needs to be put on the shelf. To continue bonking tougher enemies, we have to change our weapon to the Giant Crusher. We can find it in a carriage near the capital outskirts, south of the Phantom Tree Site of Grace. After picking up the Giant Crusher and change the Affinity to fire, we have only one thing to do. Pick up Ash of War. Now we need to get to Volcano Manor.
We talk to Ray, agree to her totally normal invitation to commit casual murder, and we are now proud members of the Elden Ring Hitman Association. During this quest, we have to buy a medallion and talk to this masked dude over here. And instantly, I don't trust him. Why is he wearing a mask like he thinks he's in a boy band? Why is he cooking crab like he's auditioning for Gordon Ramsay? Why does he look cooler than me? Yeah, he has to go. A few bonks later, he's done. And we take one of the strongest strength weapons in the entire game. The Iron Ball Gauntlets. Yes, punching your enemies to death is now a real option. We continue the quest, and eventually Ray will be waiting for us on the Altus Plateau, right next to the Grand Lift. We talk to her, she grabs our hand, not romantic, and instantly teleports us straight into Volcano Manor. No academy, no lakes, no nightmares. Beautiful. Now we head deeper inside, fight a chunky piece of the Godskin family tree, and when he goes down, we unlock the path to the real prize. Ash of War, Royal Knight's Resolve. This thing buffs our next bonk by a glorious, holy, game-breaking plus 80% damage. Combined with our Giant Crusher, it's basically a tactical nuke with a handle. Now this build is starting to feel illegal. And just like that, we've got everything we need at this stage. Which means, it's time for Stage 4. Here's the list of bosses we're taking down, and right below, the rewards we'll collect from each of them. We have one last buff to grab before we go bully the Draconic Tree Sentinel, and that upgrade is for our Flask of Wondrous Physick. To improve it, we head back to Caelid, straight to this beautiful tree right here. We give the tree a couple of good bonks, and, like every tree in Elden Ring, it's extremely weak to fire and bad life decisions. We take everything it has, a crystal tier that lets us break boss stance in 3 to 4 hits, which means we can land free criticals on almost anyone, and another tier that boosts our fire affinity damage by 20%. With both tiers collected, we immediately ride to the Draconic Tree Sentinel. We destroy him like he's just another tutorial boss, roll his spells, avoid the lightning, and bonk him straight into the Shadow Realm. And now, our next opponent, Morgott. But Morgott isn't like everyone else. He's fast, jumps around, dodges constantly, and doesn't just stand still waiting to be bonked. That means one thing. It's time to switch weapons. And lucky for us, we already picked up our next weapon. Yeah, it's the balls. We're literally going to punch bosses to death. Before we do that, we can't use our weapon right off the bat. Let's add some juicy stuff to it and add some more power into those punches. First off, let's get the Ash of War Crag Blade. Teleport back to the impassable bridge in Caelid, find and kill the scarab here, then claim your bounty. After that, let's obtain the Fire Scorpion Charm for plus 15% fire damage and another plus 10% physical damage. Fast travel back to Mount Gelmir in Fort Laiad, go here in this area, and pick up your prize. Now that it's all done, we need to level them up as much as we can, and then go smack Margit's alter ego right in the face. Morgott's fast, but we're just built different. I had to do a bit of dodging here and there because pure muscle won't cut it this time. And he's dead. On to the next one, the Fire Giant. Let's progress into a winter wonderland and kill the last remaining giant.
freeing him of his curse. The fire giant's slow, and the only real danger are his fire attacks. For this boss, let's switch it up with the Giant Crusher, because he's a literal giant. A few bonks here, we break his foot, and he goes down. Let's ride our mighty steed, because he switches places a few times, and those fireballs are super annoying. A few bonks later, and we're done. We just crushed a giant with the Giant Crusher. It's now time to say goodbye to our fine maiden. You will always be remembered as the hottest maiden.
Through our maiden's sacrifice, we unlock the next area, which is the Farum Azula, and open our way to the next target, the Godskin Duo.
And these guys are tough. Yeah, sure, we could go the old-fashioned route, craft 10 sleep pots, throw them one by one, and try to knock both of them out while smashing with a Giant Crusher. But let's be real, it's not boring, it's just slow as hell, and they can easily punish you mid-swing. Plus, who wants to craft 10 pots? Ain't nobody got time for that. So instead, we're heading back to Castle Redmane, but it's not the same place we left behind. New invaders have taken over, trying to seize Radahn's fortress for themselves. And we don't forgive that kind of disrespect. We clear out the castle, one enemy at a time, and as a reward, we grab the Greatsword. And what does the Greatsword give us? A perfect long-range heavy swing that lets us hit hard and stay safe. Since the Godskin Duo are slow and chunky, that's exactly what we need. Slice them from a distance and keep out of danger. There's a catch, though. It needs intelligence, and, well, that's not exactly our strong side. So we grab a crystal tier to boost intelligence, and if that's still not enough, we throw in a talisman too. Oh, and don't forget to upgrade the Greatsword. Without that, your damage just won't cut it. Once the stats check out, we delete the Godskin Duo plain and simple. The fight's still tricky. Dodge, reposition, and play smart. Your best ally here? The pillars. Use them as cover, peek out, and strike when they're open. Honestly, this fight feels like a nostalgic throwback to Ornstein and Smo. The same chaotic duo, just without the lightning or fat rolls. After killing those two, we basically unlock every single upgrade in the game. So yeah, it's time to max out our gear. We take our Giant Crusher and our gloves and upgrade them all the way up to plus 24. Once that's done, we're ready to face our next target, Malekith. Now, Malekith can be a real pain. He's fast, aggressive, and if you try to hit him with a Giant Crusher, Greatsword, or even a Ruins Greatsword, forget it. None of that's gonna work. He's just way too quick for those slow weapons. So what do? We switch to something faster, something that can actually keep up with him. Obviously, the gloves. So we channel our inner Muhammad Ali. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The fight turns into a long slugfest, but luckily these gloves are insane at breaking stance. We throw a few heavy punches, roll through his slashes, break his posture, and land the crits. And yeah, I'll be honest, it took me like 40 tries, but we'll just skip that part. You don't need to know that. Let's move on to face our next target, Godfrey, aka Horalu. Aside from dodging his normal attacks, he stomps his foot for an AoE attack quite often, so let's change our weapon to the Giant Crusher again. It's nothing we can't handle with a little bit of dodging and jumping. Let's take advantage of this, and bonk, down he goes. My strength befits a crown. It's time for the final showdown, the ultimate test of strength, Radahn the Golden Order. Let's charge in with a heavy bonk, dodge, and hit a few punches. Now that we have that done, the starry koi fish comes out. Let's just go around him and punch here where we can reach him with our T-Rex hands, dodge a few laser beams, and we're done. Elden Ring just became easy. Nothing beats a few old-fashioned bonks. Thanks for watching all the way through. You guys are the reason these videos keep coming. If you liked it, hit that bell, drop a comment, and tell me what kind of madness you want to see next. This is hawk.live Gaming, signing off. See you in the next one.